Welcome back to Rhythm Guitar Book 2. This book focuses on open chords, strumming, and fingerstyle patterns. You can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn if you have your own copy of Rhythm Guitar 2 that you can read from and write in. So I'll leave a link for that in the description. We're on page 63 and we have two new lead sheets. Both of them have DC markings. At the top of page 63, we have number R100. This is Alouetta. It's in 4/4 time, and it's marked Allegretto quarter equals 108. And that is 108. It does have a DC al fine marking if you look at the end there. So that DC takes us back to the beginning, and then we stop at the fine bar. So we're going to be playing the first line, the second line, and then the first line once again. As far as comping patterns, let's keep this one pretty simple. I like to just use a bass strum on this one. So the first line on an F, I'll be going Alouetta, and then C7, gentle Alouetta. So just one bass strum on a C7, and then back to F. And then the last measure of the first line, rather than doing a bass, strum, I'm going to play just a half note C7, 1, 2, and then an F, 3, 4. Second line, I'm going to be going back to bass strum all the way until the last measure of this line. So I'm not going to try to pronounce the French. Do 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 ba ba da ba da ba da ba ba da ba ba da. On the oh ho ho ho, I'm going to be playing a C7 and I'm going to just hold it for 4 beats. So it'll be oh ho ho, and then back to the top. Da, da, da. And the last time in that first line at the end, I will also be playing a half note C7 and a half note F. So that'll be da 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 da. I'm going to play this one twice through. The first time it's going to be at the marked tempo of quarter equals 108, and the second time I'll play it at quarter equals 85. As always, I encourage you to play along with the video so you can work on keeping a steady tempo, or you can play to a metronome so you can choose your own tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. At the bottom of page 63, we have number R101, All the Pretty Little Horses. It's in common time, so 4 beats per measure, and it's marked andante, which is kind of a medium slow tempo. As we look through this, we can see at the end of the 4th line, there's a DC al Coda. So the DC takes us back to the beginning, and then we look for the 2 Coda marking, which is at the end of the 3rd line. Once we're done with that measure, we play the coda, which is that last line. I like to keep this one simple. It's supposed to be a lullaby, so I'm just going to use our simple P-I-M-A pattern. And I'm not even going to play 8th notes. I'm not going to play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's simply going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. P-I-M-A. I'm going to break up the pattern at times, and I'm also going to change patterns in the 3rd line. So let's just go through this really quickly. We have A minor on Hush Bye, D minor, Don't You Cry, E minor, Go to Sleep My Little. Now, at the end of this line, on the A minor and the E minor, instead of playing the pattern, I'm just going to strum a half note A minor, and a half note E minor. So it would sound like this. Go to sleep, my little baby. And then we pick up the pattern in the next line. When you wake, you shall have all the pretty little, and now I'm going to strum 2 half note A minors. Horses. Now if you're playing fingerstyle, you could also pluck those. Horses. Third line, just to break up the pattern, I'm going to switch to a bass strum type of pattern. I'm not going to grab a pick. Instead, I'm just going to play my thumb on beat 1 and 3 and pluck with my fingers on 2 and 4. So instead of bass strum like this, I'm going to do it like this. So I get it's more bass pluck than bass strum, bass strum. But either way, the pattern changes there. It just adds a little extra to the song. So we have blacks and bays, dapples and grays, coach and six a little. Now, what I'm going to do on this A minor, I'm going to play a bass and a pluck on the A minor, but then I'm going to strum the E minor. So it would sound like this. Coach and six a little horses. I'm going to do the same thing in the next line. Blacks and bays, dapples and grays, D minor, coach, and six a little. Going to treat this the same way. Horses. Except this time, instead of strumming an E minor at the end of the measure, we're just strumming an A minor. Then, because of the DC marking, we go back to the beginning, we repeat those first 3 lines, and then once we've reached that 2 coda marking at the end of the 3rd line, we jump to the coda. So let's jump there right now. This is the blacks and bays part, so I'm going to be playing the bass strum or bass pluck. Blacks and bays, dapples and grays. Now on this D minor, there's a fermata above the melody note. So rather than doing any kind of pattern, all we're going to do there is strum. And that's all we're going to do in that measure. If I were playing this with a singer, I would wait for them to sing and six a little, and then come in on the A minor. Horses. And you have your option at the end to play along with the singer. Horses. Or just play one A minor. Horses, and let the singer take care of the rest. This one's a little longer with the DC, so I'm just going to play it one time. I'm going to play it at quarter equals 90. Again, I always encourage you to play along with the video so you can work on keeping a steady tempo, or play to a metronome so you can choose your own tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. To the Coda. Your assignment is to practice the lead sheets on page 63. You can follow my comping suggestions, or you can use your own patterns. As always, work on keeping a steady tempo by playing along with the video, or play to a metronome so you can choose your own tempo. Practice these songs until you're comfortable with them, a week, maybe more, maybe less, and when you're ready, I'll see you on page 64 with the lead sheet for Home on the Range.